Number two, the question which asked, Raj asked, is related to migration. You don't need to worry as of now. Maybe I'm just trying to answer the Raj question, but migration thing we have not discussed till now. So those of you who are completely new, no need to worry at this stage. So Raj, yes, at the time of migration also, you have the vendors which you want to convert to business partners. So even at that point of time also, by making the configurations, we can ensure that the vendor numbers, whatever you have in ECC, they are converted with the same numbers are given to the business partners at the time of conversion.
Thanks, sir.
So it is practically possible. Okay. Any other questions?
In projects, which role, who does this? FI consultant, or do we have a specific role for master data or something?
No. First of all, as a MM, as a SD, as a FI consultant, we are first responsible for maintaining the master data when the new implementation takes place. It is a one-time activity that we have to do before the system is handed over to the user to perform their transactions. Once that is done, the normal, vendors will be, hundreds of vendors will be created on day-to-day basis. So that part would be done by the end user. Once the go live is done, after that, whatever new vendors need to be created, that would be done by the end user. Now, in addition to the end user, if a company has a separate master data team who is taking care of all the master data, then that would be taken care by the master data team separately. But ultimately, even this master data team is a end user team, not the consultant team. So consultant is responsible only for one-time migration of initial vendors or customers which are already available in their current legacy system to migrate it to S4. But once the normal day-to-day activities are started, creating this master data is something which is responsibility of the end users. Okay, Raj? So your question was related to the creation of master data, not to the configuration, right? If you are asking from the configuration
My question was related to config, because in a project, do we have any specific consultants doing it, or anybody in FI, or it's in charge of FI guys?
No, it is our responsibility. Raj, it is our responsibility as a functional consultant to do it. So it has to be the joint responsibility of FI and MM when it comes to vendor. When it comes to customer, it is a joint responsibility of FI and SD to create the customer account groups, BP groupings, and make sure that all those are properly done so that the customer can create their own customers.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Any other questions?
Vikram, do you have any PDFs for like understanding all these vendors and things like that in detail? Like, would you be sharing it with us?
Yes. So Vivek, what I'm doing is parallelly I am creating the PDFs, whatever I have already shared, the SAP standard PDFs, which I already shared. But whatever I'm doing on day-to-day basis in this session, I will be capturing the screenshots of whatever transactions we have done today, and that I'll be keeping one PPT which should be helpful for you.
Okay.
So, I think Vikram, this will be just for my understanding. If we have MDM, how does this connect to these boxes? Because the master data, some clients might have one centralized creation of master data, right? In that scenario, how do we understand this process?
So if you are, MDM is a completely separate module, or even a separate component altogether.
Yep.
So normally, I'm sharing the example of one of the projects where we just completed the implementation. See, we need to set up all these configurations from our end. Okay, so configurations and all will still come even if you are using MDG, MDM. The configurations of number ranges, the configuration of the account groups, BP groupings, everything has to be done by us as a functional consultants. MDG will only make the life simple for the end users who are creating the master data. Okay, so for example, if I need to create hundreds of uh, let's say vendors on day-to-day basis, and let's assume normally MDG will only come into picture when you have multiple systems to create this vendor. Okay, so if it is one system, normally it doesn't make much sense to bring the MDG. MDG is normally uh, required by the business where they have one SAP system, one non-SAP system, and they want to create a vendor at the same time in multiple systems. So what they do is they trigger it from MDG, and then that is available in all the other systems. It is called as a master data distribution, right? But that is something which doesn't needs to be confused with what we are discussing here, because that is something which would be totally done in the MDG tool separately. From our side, all the configurations that we have done just now, this will be even required even if MDG is in place.
Yeah, I understood that. I thought MDG is about having duplicate checks and others because it's a centralized space so
Exactly.
that we don't create all these duplicates. Most likely because we don't need to have multiple vendors, right? See, yeah, that's the reason we use MDG mostly,
Right.
as you said. But yes, this setting is mandatory in our side, and the other side also it will be the same setting, is it? So that when it calls RFC call or something, it will check on based on the duplicate values we prefer, and then it will stop from creating. That's the current
Exactly.
functionality in ECC anyway. That's the same thing in HANA also, is it? There's no change
Right.
to
Right.
that. So the
No change.
interface
Yeah.
is the same. Okay, thanks. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So maybe if system works fine, I just wanted to show you one additional scenario, which is same number range, but it seems the system is slow. So yeah, let's try. Let's try. So what I'll do is I will try to create another account group. Okay, just to give you the feel, or maybe the same account group which we created already. I will make sure that the number range that is assigned to uh, the BP grouping, sorry, BP and vendor is same, so that we can generate the same numbers. Okay, let me show you. So I just shown you one configuration which is in cross application components. If you go to master data synchronization, and within the master data synchronization, customer vendor integration, business partner settings for vendor, field assignment, and assign keys. Right. So this is where we maintain the configuration. Now, in our case, just now what we have done is RDO. I think it is not taken. RDO. Just now we created a business partner vendor with this grouping, and system has automatically picked this grouping as a vendor account group. But the problem is the numbers, the two numbers that got generated are completely different. Okay, so if I go for the BP that we created just now, I think it was 67 or 68. Let's see, 67. Okay, so the problem is we created a business partner, but the business partner number and our vendor number, they are completely different. Now let's assume a customer tells you, no, I don't want to have separate numbers. I want this number to be same as business partner number. Okay, so in that case, how are you going to take care of that particular requirement? So if you see these groupings, if you see this configuration, there is a tick for same numbers. If I want to keep the same numbers, I can tick on this indicator. But if I just try to tick on this indicator and try to save, system will throw error. Why system is throwing error? Because the numbers are different, right? I assigned the number range which is completely different here, and I assigned the number range which is completely different here. First of all, I need to provide the same numbers to these two groupings. And number two, because I want this grouping to take the next number, which means internal, and this vendor account group must be external to take the same numbers. Okay, this is another mandatory criteria. If you want the same numbers, your vendor account group must be set as external. If it is internal, it will not take the numbers. Right? So these are the two important criteria for having the same number. Number one, the numbers must be same in the number range. Number two, vendor account group number range must be set as external. Okay, so what is wrong currently? We know our vendor account group number range is already external. Okay, let's go and see. The first criteria, sorry, the second criteria is already matching. The first criteria is not matching. The numbers are different in both the number ranges. So for that, I have to go to IMG. Okay, here I will go to financial accounting, AR, and AP, vendor accounts, master data, preparation, and account groups. Okay, or maybe the number ranges. So what is the number range assigned currently?
External for this one, right? So RD01 we have to assign now, I think.
Yeah, I think it is Y1, right?
Yeah.
RDO1 is assigned to Y1.
Yeah. Y1, yeah, first one, the external one. Yeah.
All right. Server is too slow. I don't know why. At your end also, you are facing the slowness in the server, or it is working fine?
It's okay.
Working fine.
Maybe my network issue.
Vikram,
Yes.
this could have been a joint session with the FI guys, right? Because they also need to know this, is it?
They need to know, but the thing is, see, if I take the joint sessions, I'm going in too much of detail for FI. For example, we have discussed yesterday the material groups and a lot of other things. So the problem is they also need to come at this stage so that they can understand this BP. Normally, this BP part I cover only after in FI, only after the GL accounting and all is done. So definitely they will be also this kind of session, but it will take them a lot of time to reach at that stage.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, I was initially planning, but I thought maybe the sequence will be very difficult for them to digest. Okay, so we created Y, right, and we wanted to check whether it is external or internal. I'm 100% sure it is external, but let's cross verify so that we are 100% sure that our first criteria is matching. Okay, so Y1 is external and the numbers are from 7,000 onwards to 7,999, right? Which means the same numbers I have to assign to my business partner also. Then only system will determine the proper same numbers, right? So I need to go to the business partner settings and I need to provide the same number range to my business partner groupings also. Okay, which means I need to come out. Let's go to the cross application components.
Vikram, I have a question. Can I ask before you?
Yes, go ahead.
The Y1 is, you have changed it to internal or external still?
Y1 is external.
Okay, but if we give one as external, the other one as internal, the system one is going to pick on its own. It will not know what's the number, whichever is available next, will not match, right? It has to be both internal, I believe.
No,
Then
no,
only. Okay, yeah, thanks. Just a
no,
question.
no, no. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you. Yes, I'll tell you why it is to be external.